Hey, how's it guys? Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a quick update video on base protocol, but instead of being an update video on both base protocol, it's going to be a video about ReBase platforms in general, because we now have quite a few that I'm aware of. So guys, whenever we talk about crypto investment platforms, people normally want to know how much money can I make. And then the more serious investors, they want to know how does it work. And if you're really serious, you want to know, are there options that I can look at so that I can either diversify or pick the best one. So I'm going to share with you all three of these pieces of information. So let's start with how much money can I make? So this is just mind-blowing, and this is why I decided to get involved in ReBase tokens. And I wish I understood ReBase tokens 10 days ago. I literally would have made a lot of money. Okay, but what do they say? Better late than never. Okay, so I sort of understand it now, and I'm going to share it with you. So first up, how much money can you make? As with everything in crypto, it's risky, you can lose money. On base protocol, I've lost money, okay? I'm just honest with you, I lost more than half of, well, around about half of what I invested, but I'm learning. So if you started with base protocol on day one, I believe they started on the 4th of December, and you invested 550 USD and you received 1,000 tokens, and I'm just using the average base token price. Okay, so I'm going to explain the price and everything later on. So this is the average price that you can buy and sell against. So you just bought 1,000 tokens the first day and you said that's it, I'm not going to invest anymore. They had 136% rebase factor positive on the first day, 40% on the second, 180% on the third, 310% positive on the fourth day. Then 6th day they had a 39% negative. 7th day they had a 21% negative, and 2, 4, 6. This is the 7th day. Okay, the 7th day they had a 47% positive. So I'm just using these few days as an example. After this, it was a bit of a mess. And, I believe there were 2 more negatives and so on. But even having said all of that, just look at this, guys. After day 1, you would have had 2,360 tokens. Now remember, if it's positive, in this case 136%, they add tokens to your wallet and it happens automatically. So you would have received 1,360 and your tokens would have increased to 2,360. Then with the 40% positive, your tokens would have increased to 3,304. With the 180% increase, your tokens would have increased to 8,307. And with the 310% increase, your tokens would have increased to a whopping 34,060 tokens. Then they take away your tokens, right? They reduce your tokens if it's in a negative. So day 2, 4, 5, they would have taken away 39% of your tokens. So you went down to 20,767 tokens. Then day 6, they would have taken away 21%. And you would have gone down to 16,413. And then the next day there was a positive again. Okay, so if you just had steady hands, which I wish I had at the time, but I didn't get in day 1, that was my problem. Then just using this example, on day 7 you would have had 24,128 tokens. Now let's assume on this day you decided that you're gonna sell, right? And I'm just using the average price. You probably might have gotten a better price than this. In some cases, much better, as you can see here. But let's just use that. You then sell at 0.55 or 55 cents. You would have had 13,270 USD. You would have made a profit if you deduct 13,000 from 550, your initial investment of 12,720 USD. That is amazing. So that answers your first question. If you have steady hands, if you pick a proper, well-researched, transparent, well-run, professional platform, if you do all of that and you invest and you have steady hands, you research what you do, then this is the type of thing that can happen with ReBase platforms. So let's move over to the next question. Now you want to know, hopefully, how does this work? So please check out my previous video. With the ReBase platforms, currently, I do not go into the liquidity part of it. Okay, so you can watch other YouTubers. They have lots of videos on liquidity. I'm not doing that for now. I'm just focusing on the ReBase part. So how does it work, guys? Number one, you get yourself a MetaMask wallet. Okay, I've got videos on how to get one, how to register, and all of that. Then you need Ethereum. You send yourself Ethereum to your MetaMask wallet. All of these ReBase platforms run on the Ethereum network for now. There might be some on Tron already or coming up. I don't know. We'll check it out later. Now you have Ethereum. Now you need to buy the tokens. Typically, you would buy them on Uniswap. Okay. Guys, please make sure that you have the correct contract number. Okay. So when you add the tokens to Uniswap to buy them, please make sure that you use the correct contract number. And for that, join the Telegram groups, go to YouTube and so on, just to make sure that you have the correct contract numbers. I think I will post them. Yeah, I will do that. I will post the contract numbers of the 3 or 4 that I'm using, ReBase platforms that I'm using. I'll post that. Okay, but I don't want to make this explanation too long. So you get your MetaMask, you send yourself Ethereum, and you then go and buy yourself the tokens. In this case, example, Base Protocol. Okay, for them, how do you buy? You click on this button here, left top corner, the B, right? It'll open, and then at the bottom here, it'll show you Buy Base. If you click on Buy Base, it'll take you to Uniswap. You just say understand here, and then you know you're at the right token. Unfortunately, not all the platforms that I'm introducing to you today have websites yet. So you have to go to Telegram. You have to then get the token address and you have to paste it here to make sure that you have the correct one. Okay. So you then buy the tokens. What do you do next? You don't have to do anything. Okay. So if you have steady hands and you decide that you're going to go into one of these ReBase platforms for the long run, you don't have to do anything. Once you've bought it, you can just leave it. Okay. If things go wrong, obviously you have to watch it. If things go wrong, so that you can make a decision, like you have 3, 4, 5 negative days, ReBase days in a row. But if you're in it for the long run, you can just leave it. You don't have to do anything. You, however, have to understand this. They have a price. All of these ReBase tokens have what they call a target base price or a target price. It's typically pegged against something. It's fixed against something. For example, for Base Protocol, it's fixed against the overall crypto market cap at a ratio of 1 to 1 trillion. Now, this is where people get confused, but you have to understand it. So the overall crypto market cap is 566 billion. If you divide that by 1 trillion, you get then 56 cents. That might change on a daily basis. Okay, so that is the price of the Base Protocol token. What is this clock all about? Rebasing happens typically every 24 hours. What does rebasing mean? During the course of the day, this price, the Base Protocol token price, will go up and down as people buy and sell. As we speak, at the time of making this video on the 13th of December, the price is in a negative. It dropped below the target base price and it's now 55 cents and it's in a negative. Okay. When I started making this video, it was in a positive. Okay. And it will probably might go up again. You then watch this clock and you make sure that you know what time the clock strikes 0 in your area. So for example, This one for base protocol, it's 10 p.m. UK time when it's 0, and it's midnight South African time. Why is it important that you are awake at this time, around about this time? They reset the price to 56 cents. So if the price went up, like say to $2 during the day, it's very good for the rebase factor. But then once this clock strikes 0, they reset the price to 56 cents and you might want to buy some more tokens. Equally, if the price is very high, close to this time, to the 24 hours rebase time, you might want to sell. So you have to watch this. And then this is the most important part. People are still getting upset over there on Telegram if they wake up in the morning and their tokens have been reduced or their tokens are less. How does the rebase factor work? Simple. As it is currently, if this price, the current price of the token throughout the 24 hours drops below the actual price or the target price or the pegged price, then you're in a negative. If the clock strikes 0 and you're still in a negative, they will deduct tokens automatically from your MetaMask wallet. Please note, you do not have control over that process. You cannot hide your token somewhere. This is how the smart contract has been set up. This is how it works. So let's use an example. Let's say you have 1,000 tokens. This clock runs out, it strikes 0, and it's minus 10%. They will automatically deduct 100 tokens from your 1,000 tokens. And when you open your MetaMask, you will then see that you only have 900 tokens. If it is positive 10%, so let's say this price goes up to 65 cents or something, and it strikes 0 and it's positive 10%, they will then automatically add 10% of tokens to your wallet. So you will then wake up, in the example of 1,000, you will wake up the next day and you'll have 1,100 tokens. Okay, so that is the basic principles that you need to understand about rebasing. Most of them work more or less the same. Right, so let me then answer the third question. Do you have options? Can you diversify? Or do you have options that you can look at and pick the best rebase platform to invest in? When I started now 8 days ago with rebasing, this was the only one that I heard about, and this was the one that I researched. It's called Base Protocol, and they seem very transparent. It seemed like a solid company. You can go to the website. If you click on this button here, they have a good team. And they've done really well in the first 10 or so days. There were some hiccups. If you scroll down, you'll get all the information. Here's the team and so on. There were some hiccups with them. The biggest one being that the whales took over. So if you don't know what a whale is, please Google in the crypto world. But it's basically the guys with a lot of money, a lot of crypto, and they can manipulate things. Okay? And that's why we had quite a few negative rebase factors, and some people pulled out and so on. So I made a loss, as I said, also. But overall, this is probably the best long-term one. Then we have ReBase. Now, I think 7 days after Base Protocol launched, ReBase launched. So the day before yesterday, Friday, was actually their first rebase. And this one started with a bang. Their first rebase was 1,000%, which was spectacular. Yesterday, they went into a negative, but it was because they made a business decision to change their pegged price. And as you can see, at the time of making this video, it's around a half an hour before rebase, they're in the positive. So what is different about ReBase? Their peg is now against the DeFi crypto market cap and not the overall crypto market cap. This means that their price is now 0.17 cents, their peg price, or the ReBase price. Okay, to me that was a good decision, and I think that will help this token to reach positive rebase factors for a long time because it's now easier. You only have to reach 17 cents or 18 cents, then you're in a positive already. Other than that, they work the same. Their rebase time is 4 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. South African time. You can then work out what the time is in your area. Then I quickly want to show you the third one, but this one scammed out on day one, guys. So you don't invest in this one. They were also pegged against the DeFi crypto market cap and not the overall market cap. So their price was also 17 cents. And the first day they also had 1,000% rebase. But then immediately at the rebase, the guys closed the contract, they closed the Telegram chat, and they scammed out and they ran away with people's money. So this is how quickly you can lose money. I invested 200 USD and I lost everything. Luckily, I didn't go in too big. But unfortunately, there are people who lost a lot of money. So you have to be careful even with rebase. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is one that I just literally before I started making this video, I heard about them. They're called R12 base, and what that means is random 12 hours rebase. So they are very small still. I'm still looking at them. At the moment, I wouldn't suggest that you invest with them. Do your research. They are launching tomorrow, tomorrow the 14th. I believe 4 p.m. UK time. They are also pegged against the overall crypto market. The difference with them, they say that they are anti-whale, okay? That you are protected against the whales. And the reason for that is that they have random 12-hour rebases. The way I understand it, they will have two rebases per day. But it will be random, but it will be more or less 12 hours apart, something like that. Okay, that is good innovation when you look at what happened to Base Protocol and even to ReBase, where the whales took over and they started doing swing trading, and it was a mess. So the last one that I want to show you is called XIFG. There's the name, little x, a small x, and then ETH in capital -G. So go to that Telegram group. I'll try to link all of this in the description below. So they had some hiccups with their initial launch, some problems, and they've now fixed that, and they're going to launch today, 13 December, 8 o'clock UK time, 10 o'clock South African time. That's PM, that's evening. And yeah, you can check out what the time is in your area, and they are completely different to the others. So I'm just going to briefly try and explain. They pegged against Ethereum. They call it a dynamic peg, and it will go up until it reaches 0.01 Ethereum. I will be honest with you, I do not understand that properly yet, so I'll explain it in a bit more detail as we go along over the next few days and weeks. They will list at a price of 60 cents US. The initial peg will be 70 cents US. But here's the big difference. They will rebase automatically when they reach 20%. So when the daily price, as people buy and sell, if it goes 20% over the 70 cents, they will automatically rebase, add the tokens to our wallets, and that's that. I'm not sure if they're going to keep on rebasing if it goes up another 20%. That I have to clear as well. They do not have negative rebases. Now that's potentially huge. However, if the 20% is all that you can get per day, it's not so huge, okay? Then they also, because they don't have a negative rebase, these tokens are deflationary. So you need to burn them. So you need to, when it's a negative rebase, you need those tokens go out of circulation. So if it's a 20% negative rebase, 20% of the overall tokens go out of circulation. Now it's getting technical, but you have to try and understand all of these things. So what they do is they have a 5% tax and they burn 2.5% of that. So on all the transactions, when we buy and sell this token, there's a 5% tax. 2.5% gets burned of the tokens, and 2.5% of the tax goes towards staking rewards. Remember, I'm not talking about staking. I'm only talking about rebasing. So here are my picks. Base protocol is a good one for the long-term investors. Then ReBase is a good one for if you want to make some good money over the next few weeks and maybe a month or two. And then the last one, XIFG, that I've explained to you, that I've introduced to you. I think XIFG is probably a solid one. That is all from me on ReBase tokens. I'll try to keep you up to date on my progress. Everything is risky. As I said, I've not made money out of this yet, but I just have a feeling that something big will happen to many thousands of people using ReBase platforms over the next few weeks and months. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Until next time, it's goodbye.